This video is intended to show you how to make sense of the internet. When you're out online and you're trying to find web sources for a paper, it can be really daunting. So this video is going to show you some basic tips and some things to keep in mind when you're doing a web search. So to that end, we're going to start with the sort of be-all end-all of web searching and go to Google and just do a basic phrase search for climate change. So you're going to notice a couple things. First, you get 129 million results up there at the top. So that's one shortcoming of web research. You got to really try to narrow down your search results. A second shortcoming is over here to the right. You'll notice that a whole list of what look like results are actually ads. All of these, and you'll notice .orgs, .coms, a bunch of different domains in there. But it's all paid advertising, so not very reliable. And keep that in mind. .orgs, anyone can buy a .org, so that's not a very good indicator of quality. And this is a good example. Wikipedia is the first hit. You never want to cite that. Right off the bat too, you'll see Google return some news results, articles, but these are popular sources. Again, NPR, The Guardian, Boston.com. So you would use them with caution. As you scroll down the page a bit, we actually start to see some pretty decent results. We get the EPA's website, which is a .gov, a good, reliable domain. A topic page from the New York Times, which may or may not be good. A NASA.gov page, which is going to be fantastic. And then a few hits for the Guardian newspaper, again, down at the bottom, which, again, you'd have to take with a grain of salt because it's a newspaper. So it may or may not be biased, may or may not have a bit of an opinion or an agenda going on. Usually you want to look for .govs and .edus. Those are going to be your highest quality, generally most reliable sources of information. Another difficult thing with online research is finding articles, and you'll notice that down here at the bottom, Google has what they call in-depth articles selected for you. So these may be tempting if your professor has asked you for scholarly articles, but remember to check your source. These come from the Wall Street Journal, Grist, and Rolling Stone, which are three just popular sources. So these are not going to be the same level of academic content that you would find in a journal, say in one of our electronic databases. They may be citable, especially if it's a current events issue, but you do want to consider that before you use them. And to that same end, if your instructor asks you to get peer-reviewed or academic journal articles, and for whatever reason you don't go to the databases, you can do some limiters. You can do peer-reviewed journals, scholarly articles, academic articles. You can add that as a search term to Google without even going into advanced Google or Google Scholar. And that's what a lot of folks do. But keep in mind, when you're looking at these results, they do return 3 articles up at the top. You'd still need to evaluate them, and we have an upcoming video here in this series that's going to help you do that. But under those articles, whether or not they're good, these websites are really no better than the first page. Skeptical Science, a couple of daily blog sites. You finally get Science Magazine halfway down, but you have this is a R.A. Salvatore Forums is a science fiction author forums. So again, the article that is linked in that post may be great, but you need to keep in mind that you can't just trust anything you find online. Anyone can post anything on the internet. So everything here, your default mode when searching the web should be skepticism, not taking any of this stuff just on face value. You're definitely going to need to dig deeper. In the next 2 videos, we're going to show you how to do that. But for the basics here, just want to have you keep that stuff in mind. Additionally, if you're looking for resources, we have a bunch of good ones for websites on the library homepage. Under our Resources tab, you'll see about halfway down Recommended Websites. If you click that link, what we've done on the Recommended Websites page within the library homepage is exactly what it sounds like. We've pulled out a bunch of search engines and websites that the librarians at Edison State College have already gone through ahead of time for you. So every time you're looking for a website, a good jumping off point would be to come to our list of recommended sources. We have them divided by subject, so they're pretty easy to navigate through. And again, like I say, more importantly, every single site that we link to here has already been vetted by one of us. So it saves you the time from having to look at a website and go, is this a good source? Is this not a great source? Don't worry about that here. The recommended websites from the librarians are all going to be citable research. As long as your paper allows for a free website as a source, you could use our sources. To that same end, up here in the search box, you'll notice the last tab is marked Research Guides. If you've never seen these, watch for another video. We're going to have a video walking you through how to do the research guides, but they're basically research starters. Every one of these topics has a minimum of 1 guide underneath it that compiles a bunch of good links to library sources, database books, I'm going to open history, and you'll see that there's well over a half dozen different guides here on a variety of really specific topics. So we'll open the Florida history just to show you. And this is made by one of our librarians. She's got videos, books, databases. But the reason that I highlight the research guides for you in this evaluating the web is every one of these has a web resources or a websites box. And just like our recommended websites, every single website that we link to in here has already been checked out by a librarian and has been given the double thumbs up. So any website you see listed in one of our research guides, one of the librarians considers a high quality resource that you don't have to worry about checking as far as whether or not it's a good source. Okay, stick around, and next up we're going to show you how to evaluate and understand websites.